All right, we are in Atlanta, Georgia. Today we're going to be shooting with the Canon EOS R8, shooting on the 35 millimeter. We're just going to go around and get some shots, kind of walk you guys through what my thought process is, kind of hopefully walk away with something good here. Nice shadows, nice contrast. We'll just start getting warmed up here. Normally whenever I go out to shoot, whether it's professional or just practice, if I see something that I want to capture, I'm gonna warm up by just going around taking broader shots, taking the basic shots, and then start looking at working on details. And that lets you capture all the bases, so you're just not missing much. So we're gonna focus on, let's get this building right here. Parking sign, let's get this. 10 feet 6 inches clearance, all good. All right, so we're walking up to the High Museum here. I like that. Anytime I'm in a city like this, looking up, it always looks pretty cool. Now, white balance, let's make sure we're setting that properly. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so those are more larger scale images. I want to try and capture a little bit more detail. I like that. Let's get a little closer here. Whenever I like to go shooting, I will often aim for times of the day where the sun is just a lot softer. So that's going to be obviously sunrise, sunset. The sun just came over the horizon moments ago. It's around 8:10 in the morning. So the sun is going to be pretty, the shadows are not going to be as harsh. I like these buildings a lot here. I'm trying to also get myself in the mindset of shooting horizontal. Obviously with social media and just the way that has all of us conditioned to shoot vertical, I'm just trying to move away from that. Everyone's doing this. I want to get better at doing this just because that's the way our eyes were fashioned. And so we look at everything horizontally. Why not create content horizontally? Be the black sheep, you know? Let's see. As weird as this sounds, lately I've been wanting to get better at taking pictures of signs. I know that sounds a little weird, but when I see things like this no park sign, it just looks interesting. I like this right here. Let's get down a little lower to the ground. I want a little bit more negative space, so let's go ahead and, yeah, that looks good. I like the red contrast there. You know what we could do is a slow shutter with the cars moving through. So let's go ahead and do that now, actually. So we're gonna raise the shutter speed. We're definitely gonna have to close. Yeah, that's good. So now when I raise it to the shutter speed that I want, I'm gonna close the aperture so that I can balance the image out. That was cool. I gotta wait for a couple more cars. It's actually cool. All right, I think I've got enough to play there. We're gonna keep moving. We're gonna reset our exposure values because I'm not shooting with such a high or such a low shutter speed. Let's see what we got going on. Yeah, let's back up a little bit. Let's see if we can get something here with these stairs. I like that. We can play with it. All right, we got that. Let's try this here. Vote this way. I'll definitely have to straighten that one up. All right, I want a lot more negative space in my images. I want to try to look for more images with negative space. It's so bright, I should have brought an ND filter. Oh, I like that. There's my negative space. You know, I also encourage anybody to do something like this. You don't have to record it, but just go out to just go out to your city, just go out to a town, go anywhere, pull out the camera, start practicing. Because, like earlier, I've never really played around with long exposure photos. I've never really had the need to. But being in an environment like this where there's more elements to play around with, I can get a little more comfortable and familiar with it. I will say this, I'm about to fly the drone in a bit. This is gonna be nice to fly in. This sunrise is strong today. All right, so I see a statue over there. Let's get that. No parking anytime. Fun fact, this is one of my favorite signs because it takes me back to a time where I had been towed. There's a point in my life where I was towed repeatedly, probably 15 times in 1 year. Sounds absurd, but during that time of my life, I also didn't want to pay for parking wherever I went, and so I always took a gamble, and it was a pretty expensive gamble. Nah, it looked better with the sun in the way, in my opinion. There's that negative space. All right, we have officially made it to the end of the road. I'm pretty far from my car, so we're gonna turn around. You know, before we go, let's take one more. I like that building, it's pretty nice. I like that. This one might be my favorite image this whole time here. I can use that, that's cool. Anyway, you wanna see more of this kind of stuff? I do post daily, like I said, all my shorts. Check that out. I'm constantly everywhere, and so just always taking photos of a lot of other things, not just the city, but really a lot of nature, since that's actually where I live, so in the mountains. This is just a detour for me. So that's gonna do it for us today, and for the outro, well, here's some drone footage of Atlanta. We'll see you guys next week. Go tell the story.